welcome to Basketball Talk Pro. I'm Ron Ekker. First of all, I would like to start by giving some real credit to one of our people that are coaches, that show up pretty regularly. I gave you an assignment, all of you, invited you to take part in it, 4 sections of defensive work, and asked you to show the corrections on that. Well, only one person did it, which was kind of disappointing because it was a very good exercise. I think some of you don't take a lot of these things important enough. I think you just go out there with your clipboard, but there's a lot of things you got to do as a coach. It made my day because B.J. Mumford sent his very excellent analysis. He just nailed everything. In fact, there was one thing in there I would have bet and nobody would have caught, but he caught it. He saw it, and he has to have basketball eyes. I call it basketball eyes because he was seeing everything. But the other thing is he knew the rules, so he knew when they were wrong. Now my guess is that many people wouldn't know the rules, wouldn't take the time to learn the rules. But anyway, it was a great report, and I wanted to point it out to everybody because BJ's been a coach that's been wrote me some time ago and has been very loyal. Works hard at his craft, and so he deserves a lot of commendation because it was excellent, just very excellently done. Well, today I had a problem with showing you what I'm going to show you. I have a shooting drill that I've used a long time. I've used it with a lot of players. I'm not a player development coach, and I don't spend much time at it and don't pay much attention to it, to tell you the truth. But every once in a while, a certain player comes along, and and this drill has been very helpful. 2 of the players that worked at this drill and improved themselves very significantly went on to be NBA All-Star players. And it's been very good to me, but it's a very sensitive drill. I have to start with my theory. I believe that I train minds, not bodies. So this drill is based on mind training more than it is bodies. You might be surprised to know this, but in probably 50 years of being around this game, I have never, ever changed a guy's shot or talked to him about the technique of a shot. Now, if it's an 11 or 12-year-old, that might, I have to deal with that. But I've never taught 11 and 12-year-olds. So I just have a belief that if you have the right intensity and you have the right mind, if you just keep doing things, you find the right technique. May not be the same technique as the next guy has, but you find the right technique for you that is natural. And I believe a lot of coaches teach things and make players do things that are unnatural for them. They will never reach a great height. So I want you to keep that in mind, because this is a little different than a drill you normally see. I'm going to try to get across to you in this short session the feeling of how to do this drill. One thing I will tell you If you decide to do it exactly like I show you, and use the coaching points I'm going to give you. Otherwise, you will not have success. I can have success because I can do the things in the drill. But the same person can take the same drill and get no results at all. So the first thing I want to do is show you the drill itself, and I will tell you this. It's a drill where you move and shoot 15 jump shots in a row. And 10, then you take a break, not a break, but you go right from the jump shot, you shoot 10 free throws. Then you go back and shoot jump 15. You do that 7 times. At the end you will have shot 105 jump shots and 70 free throws. And that's the entire drill. You can do it with a skilled player. After he's done it a week, you can do it in about 20-25 minutes. I don't think, when people tell me they shoot 600 shots, you know, a lot of people, I hear that all the time, 600 shots a day. My guess is that about 500 of them are a waste of time. I watch those guys shoot to 500, 200, 300. They're just throwing them up there. 105 shots, shot with the intensity that I insist on, is much more valuable. And I'll talk to you more about that in the coaching points. But we keep track of all the shots, and we set a standard. I would say a good college player, most college players start at 8. The players then come and shoot this drill. Their standard is 8. Their goal is to move up 1, to 9, then to 10. It takes quite a while to move up to 10. 11, a lot longer. 12 is the highest that I've ever had a player use. But I've had 3 players they were making regularly 12 out of 15 over 7 sessions, and maybe 9 out of 10 free throws. They could not afford misses. They had that kind of pressure on them. Now I want to just show you the drill. The mechanics of the drill is very easy. So let's go to the board, and I'd like to show you just the drill itself. Okay, this is, as I said, a very simple drill. You can run it with 2 people. I like to have 3, but I always am just using 1 player. I like to, if I can, be the rebounder. The shooter starts out here. S is the shooter, and I like to have a person here that can go get balls that go all over the place, because we don't stop the drill for correction, for anything once it starts. We start the drill, the rebounder, the R there, has the ball, and I make the players move quickly to spots and catch and shoot. And they start by doing that. Now, the very first session, I allow them to not count their shots until they make one. That gives them a little bit of break on the, getting used to the drill. They shoot, this guy rebounds, they make a quick cut, he passes, they shoot, cuts to the next spot, and works their way around the basket. If the ball bounces away, this guy goes gets it. Now, I've had to do it with just 2 of us, me alone there, and you got to hustle over and get it. You don't want to slow the drill down. 15 times is going to be very fatiguing for a player, but that's what you want. It's part of the mental thing. The distance for the shot depends on the player. I tell the player to start in a comfortable distance that they feel very comfortable shooting, we can always move them back. And we do that along with moving them up on their standards. That's all there is to the drill. 15 times. And as soon as they're done, they move over here and shoot free throws. I want them to shoot while they're tired. I want them to learn how to concentrate while they're tired. Rebounders. Don't stand in the lane. I watch free throw drills, coaches shooting free throws. Guys are standing in the middle, talking. Even one practice I went to, they were sitting down at the lane. Let this shooter have the right shot. This should be a controlled situation where there's nobody in the lane, nobody talking, so he can concentrate on his shots. Well, that's all there is to this drill. Very simple. 15 shots here, 10 here, start at 15, till you've done that 7 times. And you have a very good workout. Now, before I get to the coaching points, I want to show you I want to show you 2 charts that you can use, and I'll show you how we keep track of their makes. So let's go now to those charts. This is just a nice little chart that I use to keep track of for a whole week. Whether you do it on Sunday or not, some of the guys I worked with were that intense that we did it on Sunday also. But you have a place there for every day of the week. That's 7 days. And then you take the jump shots, and you have 7 sessions of 15 each. And you just write in what they made, you know. And the same thing with free throws. You just write in what they made. I always brought the players over and added the total and the average. You know, you had to do it pretty quick in your head, but it wasn't bad. But I wanted them to leave the workout knowing what their level was, because I would change it right there. If they had succeeded in staying at a certain level for some time, then you know I made that decision right there. So they came the next day knowing, you know, 8 isn't good enough for me. Now I got to make 9 out of 15, and the same thing with free throws. I like them to know. So that's all you need. You know, you can make this chart up on Excel. For a long time I did it in pencil on the pad, but it's much neater, looks better, and you can keep track of things better. Now I'll show you a cumulative chart that we also use with the players. This is our cumulative chart for players. Now I want you to understand something about the numbers here. I did one summer, a good friend of mine, my dentist and the team dentist, wanted me to work with his grandson. I'd say about 13 years old, and he was trying out for the freshman team in high school, but a very good athlete, but he had, his mentally, he was not made well for basketball. I just talked to his granddad, and he's now playing golf in college and doing very well. I can see he would fit that sport. But he created a challenge for me because of his frustrations with not being able to do better. By the way, I had him shoot from about 12 feet. And you can see his numbers are not very good. In the free throws, I really had to move him a step ahead of the line. But he was a nice kid. We had a good time together. But the chart really helps you after a while, because here you can see what I really looked at was here told me the averages on which session. When you get with more skilled players, you're going to find that there's a little trend there, and you want to talk to the players about that. You can't come in on session number one and be kind of warming up. I would talk to them pretty sternly about that. Listen, you have to be ready to shoot. So I'll give you all the time you want to warm up, but you be ready from the first shot. So you point it out, and then I might look down here and see he's falling apart here. That's probably fatigue. Well, there is a way you can use your mind to overcome fatigue. And so you want to talk to them about that. I tell them that it takes more concentration when you know you're tired to be able to perform effectively when you're tired. You can do that. And then this just added them all up. You can see for yourself. Get your averages. Just a nice chart. I kept it. This might be, I don't know how many days, but I'd expand it if I needed to. But usually after a week, each week, I gave the players one of these charts so that they could look it over. Because it was important that they have a standard and that they are intensely trying to improve that standard every day. But that's all there was to it. It wasn't, very easy, I thought, to do. Well, you've seen the drill on the board, and you've seen the charts that we use with the players. The most important part is the next few minutes, and that is the coaching points. To me, this is what makes it. You have to be very passionate about these coaching points, and then it'll pay off. Let me warn you, though. The players that I've had through the years that have done well on this drill are players that are very intense. They want to get better. They want to be one of the best players. Maybe even best players in the league, maybe even in college. And that makes a big difference. When I start with them, the first thing I tell them is this. Each shot is a gem. You don't waste a shot. You don't take a bad shot because that's wasting a shot. You don't shoot just to shoot. This is an art. And that one shot is a gem that you hold on to and revere with everything you have in you. Don't take them lightly. Most people you watch, they're just shooting. There's nothing going on in their heart, soul. They're just shooting. Feel when you're not ready to take a shot, and then pass. Here's what happens. I tell them this. If they're not ready, I'm not talking about if the ball's off. I'm saying you'll get to catch the ball, but you're still not ready. The body's not ready. The mind's not ready. Don't shoot it. That shot's a gem. Don't waste it. You pass back to coach, make another cut till you're comfortable. I will tell you this. When players start at 8, say a college player, high school player should be able to do that. They don't pass to me at all. They don't pass back at all. But those guys that get up to 11 and 12, they pass back to me a lot. And that tells me that they're learning to feel without thinking about it, because they don't have that much time. They catch, right back to me, move, catch, take another shot. They do it by feel. You can get them to do that. And when the shot really means something to them, then, you know, they're not going to waste that shot. Then they'll do it in a game, too. They'll do the same thing. I also tell the players constantly, trust your technique. Don't think about it. Trust it. Don't be thinking, my finger's got to be here. You know, it ties you up. Just shoot the ball. And trust your technique. Short little story. I'll even give you the name of the guy, Maurice Cheeks. We got him at West Texas State. He had terrible, terrible technique. I never changed him. Between his junior and senior year, I knew he had potential to be a pro, but his shot was bad. So I took him for the summer. We did this drill every day, all summer long, Sundays, every day. When we got back together, school started. You know, he was shooting very well. He was a 12, by the way. One of the three that was a 12. Very intense. And comments were made to me, even by my assistants. Gosh, what'd you do with Maurice? His shot looked so much better. I did nothing. I did nothing. I never talked to him about it even. He changed the shot, the technique, by himself, without him even knowing it, because he had to change to make the shot. What he was concerned with, I gave him a standard of 8. He fought to make 9. He fought harder to make 10 and to 11. From 11 to 12, we'll test anybody. I'll test anybody, the best of them. So trust your technique. It'll take you where you want to go. Concentrate on your shot. Concentrate on your feel. Concentrate on this shot being important. That's my next coaching point. Talk to them about concentration. Tell them, hey, you're out there in front of 10,000 people. Everybody's watching. You can't play worrying about what they think. You can't play worrying about what the coach thinks. You can't play getting involved with officials. You have to blank that out of your mind and concentrate very deeply, and especially on free throws. You can learn how to do that. And we learn how in this drill. Because if I see them lose concentration, I correct. By the way, coaches, don't correct during the drill. Correct, you can make some corrections, or in these areas, between when the free throw session ends and the jump shot session starts. But otherwise, keep it until after everything's over. Then you can talk to your players. The movement should be very quick. They'll tend to slow down, and they will tend to get tired. 15 hard working jump shots will test your endurance. But keep the movement quick. Don't let them get sloppy on that. Don't let them get sloppy at the free throw line about having a routine, a technique that you do every time. Bounce it, you know, you see all kinds. You know, some are doing this, some are kissing somebody, they got things over on their side. It's okay. Whatever you want to do is okay, but do it every time. And when you practice, do it also, so that in the game it doesn't surprise you. The last thing, coaching point I will tell you on this one is that this is a good drill to mental practice. You can mental practice this. You know, some days maybe a guy can't make it. tell them mental practice. You got time for that. And go through each session, just like you do out here. And then go shoot free throws, then come back and shoot 15 jump shots. Feel yourself doing it. At first, it'll be clumsy, but after a while, you will actually be able to feel yourself. I had guys mental practice when I was starting coaching, and I stood behind them. They weren't allowed to move their hands or anything, but they were to shoot 25 free throws. And I could see their muscles twitch on their legs, shoulders, and stuff. The muscles were learning. The brain was working those muscles. They just weren't shooting a basketball. It's a good drill to mental practice. Well, you know, it would be well for you on some of these things like this, for you to come to these Monday night meetings we have, where we have time to go over things. I can give you a lot more knowledge on it. Remember those coaching points. Be very careful. You're not going to hurt the player, but you're not going to get the results you want. This is a very rigid thing. And how do you move them up? I don't move them up just because they make the next group. You know, say you're on 8 and they have a day where they get a 9. They got to do that a number of times before I move up to the next standard. Because that next standard, whatever it is, you know, is another mental barrier for them. But if you can get that player to be very concerned about every shot, you'll start to see improvement. I mean, I've had guys miss going for a 10 on free throws and miss that one. So upset with themselves, they kick the ball, knocking things over. You know, one of the guys said, "You let them do that?" And I said, "I love it. You know, it shows the passion they have for this." And those are the guys that make good improvement. I hope you can get as much out of the drill as I have through my career. It's a good drill.